What is going on, folk? Welcome back to my mobile gaming quest, where today we are going to play Gambit, which is a brand new, still in early access, quick real-time PvP card battler. The game should be out in this early access version in most countries so far, but you guys can go check that out for yourselves, because as I always do, I have left the download links in the description box down below. So let's have a look at a normal match in Gambit. First of all, we have 4 cards on our hand, and they are shuffled in from our deck, and then we can deploy those into 4 different lanes. Now, when the timer for each lane is up, the units in those lanes will then attack each other, and if there's no unit in the opposing lane, then you will deal damage directly to the opposing player. To help those normal units out, we also have special cards that we can use, such as this one, which is gonna boost our attack and boost our HP. And obviously, the blue number on the left side of each unit is the attack strength, and on the right side, the red number is the amount of HP. And we have already lost here. Look at this. The interesting thing about this game is that it's purely PvP. There's no single player content. And because it's still in early access, there aren't enough players either. And so that means that sometimes, at least, we're matched against players who are much, much stronger than us, such as the match just before, where we were actually in the Cobble League, but we were matched against someone who was in the Gold League. So that's why that match got pretty difficult pretty quickly. Because obviously, if you've played all the way up to the Gold League, then you'll have a pretty nice roster in your deck of cards that are probably very, very strong. Now, the good thing about this game is that we can't actually upgrade our cards, and so that makes it slightly less pay to win. In many games, we have to buy legendary chests or things like that to unlock, multiple versions of even the rare cards, and that means that it becomes very, very grindy or very, very pay to win. We don't have that in this game, and that's actually really nice to see. Instead, we only have to unlock the cards once, and then we can mix and match them into different decks. And I'm gonna go show you guys the deck building aspect as soon as we've gotten our ass beaten in this match here, because once again, we've been matched against someone who is in a much, much better league than we are currently in. This player here seems to be in League Silver #1, and we are in Bronze #3, so he is probably 6 leagues away from us at this point. So I'm guessing that we'll have a really hard time even dealing just a single damage to this guy. He has 25 HP left, we have 21 HP left, but we are gonna lose a lot of HP on this next round. Look at this, guys. We're probably gonna go all the way down to 14 or 12 or so, all the way down to 11. Look at this. Look at how many cards you've been able to play already. That's pretty insane. Many of these cards probably don't cost a lot of mana to use. You guys can see that we have a certain amount of mana in the bottom of the screen, and then each card has a mana cost as well. And so it's really important to always have enough low mana cards in your deck so that you can always, play a card if the opposing player has placed a very strong unit in one of the 4 lanes. Now let's go talk a bit about how you create new decks then. We can create a new one up here, and then we get to pick 2 factions, and only 2 factions. And this is actually quite interesting because it's a system I haven't seen in too many other card games. Typically, we can just pick any cards we want whatsoever and then turn those into a deck, but we don't have that in this game. In this game, we're limited to some extent in the combinations of cards, and that makes the game slightly more casual. I'm guessing that's why they did it like this. They probably want to appeal to a casual player, and so they don't want to overwhelm new players by having way too many options and way too many cards to pick from. I'm guessing that's why, at least, because to me it seems that this game tries to appeal to a very casual audience, even though features like this will probably piss off the more hardcore card PvP players. That doesn't mean that there's no depth to the game, though. Look at this card, for example. This one, in addition to having 2 in attack and 5 in HP, also has a special ability, which is that when you lose health, this unit gains +1 in both attack and in HP. So that's quite interesting. Now let's start using some of these units, because we accidentally saved up 10 mana, which wasn't really on purpose, but that's okay, though. We can play this card, I think, to obliterate any unit. So I'm gonna use this assassination card to take out this unit over here immediately, because it's just way too strong. Look at that. Completely obliterated. That's so awesome. We are gonna lose now, though. We are down to just 1 last HP, and these matches can be lost pretty quickly, as you guys can see. But this player also is in the Gold League already. Obviously, they have much stronger units than we have, and this is one of the core issues with this game. The monetization is actually on the fair side. The in-app purchases only go up to $15 and as we already talked about, you don't really have to grind the same cards over and over again. But the issue is that with no single player content, we have to rely on multiplayer, and when multiplayer then has somewhat bad matchmaking, that means that you can pretty quickly grow very tired of this game. You're not matched against people on your level, and you have to keep fighting those people over and over again in the hopes that you will eventually win just a single match to slowly grow to the higher leagues and get the better cards and get more gold so you can buy more of these gold packs that cost 100 in-game gold each, and so on and so on. It's going to be a very long process to do that until we have more fair matchmaking. So is this game then even worth getting into? Well, I'm guessing that one of two things is going to happen. Either the game will have more players very, very soon, and that means that the game will be much more enjoyable, and in that case, yes, I think it might actually be worth checking out for you guys because the monetization is somewhat fair. Because if they don't do that and they don't get more players, then they're gonna lose a ton of players to this very, very unfair matchmaking. And so bots could actually solve that, but then you'll have people, of course, complaining about the fact that you are fighting bots instead of actual other players. So in that case, I'm not even sure this game is worth playing anymore. So I'm just hoping that we'll see many, many more players coming into this game. I'm hoping that the developers will start spending some money on advertisements, because the game, at its core, is a fun, casual PvP battle game, and that's what it promised to be, and it does deliver on that. The graphics look great, the controls, I mean, it's a simple card game. There's nothing really to complain about here. But let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below, and now it's time for the mobile gaming news of the day, which is that everyone wants to get into streaming video games these days, it seems, because the latest news is that Walmart, yes, the retailer Walmart, may be interested in creating its own streaming service as well. And apparently this is not something they just thought about either. They have been talking with developers already back in 2018, so they may be ready, getting ready at the very least to launch something maybe this year, maybe next year. Who knows? I definitely don't see Walmart winning the streaming race, but I guess you never know, because I mean, Amazon went from selling books to becoming the biggest online web shop, so I guess anything is possible pretty much. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe if you're new around here, and most importantly, until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.